There we go, StreamYard. Hello, everyone. We are live today and we are excited for you to join us. We're here for another Luxury and Legacy Spotlight. We like to bring you all things real estate, all things entrepreneurship, all things, just really building a legacy and generational wealth. We like to talk to communities that have, of course, historically been disenfranchised, of course, communities that are powerful and strong, and now have the opportunity to really leverage and take advantage of some of these things that are out there, right? Because we know, especially our panel today, our friends today, we are all business owners. We are all Black women because we are celebrating Black History Month, even though we celebrate Black history every day of the year. But for the rest of y'all, we're going to give you a feature and a highlight today talking business from some really amazing Black women in business. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yay! So I'm going to do a quick little intro, then I'm going to give everyone their opportunity to introduce themselves. So we have Tiaa Rutherford with TeTe's Butter Co. We have Ambrie Jones of She Candle Co. and Dianne Jackson of Forever Families LLC. And I'm going to give all the ladies an opportunity to tell us about their business and why. Like, why was this their venture? What was your motivation, ladies? Who wants to go first? Anyone? Okay, I'm gonna call on you, Ambrie.
My name is Ambrie Jones. I'm the owner of She Candle Co. And I make very sexy products to enhance your self-care experience. I started my business because I have anxiety, so I needed to find a way to take care of myself to kind of get out of those very stressful spaces when I get into them. You know, my mom, we all are moms, we have kids. We have jobs, we have careers, we have businesses, and we think that taking care of ourselves can sometimes be selfish and it's another task on a to-do list. So I try to make it an experience that we look forward to like enjoying. So that's what I do. That's my why.
Yay! And tell us a little bit about your business.
Oh, you still talking to me?
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you were breaking up.
Okay, tell us a little bit
Yeah, so
about She
I
Candle
make
Co.
okay, so I make luxury soy candles and bath products, now body products, and I'm dipping and dabbing into a little bit of home decor to again enhance that self-care experience. So I've got bath trays and some sexy nightgowns. You know, I'm all about, looking good, feeling good, having this luxurious experience at home. I am solely online, but I'm working on a few retail partnerships here in the city as well as in Atlanta. I'm flying to Atlanta next week and New York. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, Erica Jackson says you look beautiful, best friend.
Aww.
TT, tell us, introduce yourself, tell the people about TT's Butter Co. and why. Why is that something that was important to you to build? Uh oh.
Uh-oh, we're frozen.
Uh oh. We'll circle back to TT. We'll circle back to her. Portia! Hi, Diane. Diane, introduce yourself. Tell us about your business.
All right. Hello,
Fantastic.
everyone. My name is, oh, wait.
Thank you for having me. I am Tiaa of your bath salts, your deodorant, your face care, skincare, beard
Oh, Tia, you're
care.
breaking up, boo.
We are in the marketplace, all plant-based, all handmade. These are my formulas that I've created and tested on nephews. I've got
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna bring her back
Uh-oh.
up. It's okay. Diane, go ahead. Tell us about your business, and then we will
Okay.
bring Miss Tia back up.
All right. So my name is Dianne Jackson. My business is called Forever Families LLC. And it actually started from as I was writing my memoir that's about my life I grew up in a foster system, so it details my life from inception until about aging out, so about the age of 22. And as I was writing that, I discovered that I had so many passions in terms of like trying to restructure the system and just restore like foster children and former foster youth. And so there's like different programming and solutions and things that are attached to this memoir that were created based on my book and exploring my life and going back and thinking about like what types of things would have helped me when I was in, that environment.
Amazing. And so tell us a little bit about your book.
Sure. So my book, which is the origin of the business, is about my life, and I tried to like start off with like even before I was born, thinking about my parents and just their origin story and how they came to be and how we ended up, in the system, and just like the different tragedies that happened. Being a child in that situation, but then the triumphs, how God just intervened every time until he, created the woman that I am today. And along with that, so my book is dropping in April 2nd to be exact. But there are journals that will be released in either May or June. One journal is for former foster youth or current, and then the other journal is for foster parents. And basically, there's different prompts and places to place memories, to think about like trauma and how it shapes your life. Think about people who you're connected to who can be supports to you, because like the foster child story is like really different. And especially if you age out of the system without being adopted, you just aged out. And so you're just given to the world and you're supposed to figure it out. And a lot of times, because these people are not necessarily like parental figures, even though you're in their homes, they don't necessarily give you the tools to be successful as an adult. So that's what these journals are helping to facilitate on the foster youth side. But on the foster parent side, and me being a former foster parent and a current parent of two girls that I adopted from the system, there's different traumas that I've seen come up as they are now teenagers that I wish that I had this journal to like archive different things that I was noticing, different behaviors, even like support systems. Even like different, just like memories and stuff, because the goal is restoration and reunification. So if they do go home, this is a gift that a foster parent would give back to that parent and say, like, while they were in my care, these are some things that their likes, their dislikes, things that I noticed, people that they're now connected to that you can use as resources. But if they like have to transition, here's this journal that goes with this child. So this foster parent has like this basis to be able to support this child so that hopefully they're not 15 and 16 and having all these behaviors that could have been supported. There could have been research if someone would have been keeping track of these different things. So there's prompts that like monitor like after visitation where kids like normally have behaviors and things about like, anytime they're going to see a specialist or a doctor, like what's going on there? What are the things that we're noticing so that we can like really support these kids and help them to become their best selves despite the issues that they have. So that's the motto.
That's so dope.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yay! And Erica says, wow, that's deep and different, Dianne. Congratulations on this unique perspective. I love it. Yay, Portia, thanks for joining us. Portia, I'm going to come right back. I'm going to go to Tiaa. Tiaa was introducing herself, and we had some tech challenges. Tiaa, what's up? Tell the people about TeTe's Butter Co.
So TeTe's Butter Co. is a plant-based beauty and body product line for the entire family. We have a long line of self-care, but daily necessities. So think of your skincare for your face. If you need a cleanser, you need a moisturizer. If you need a deodorant, body butters, different kinds of body butters. If your guy in your life has a beard, we've got products for him as well. So we're the daily necessities line, things that you know that you want to go to CVS or Target for, you can always turn to TeTe's and get. So we got started in this space because when I changed my diet, I started reading everything and all of the ingredients on products that I was using, putting on our largest organ, our skin, had a lot of 5-syllable words in it that I couldn't pronounce. And that was very concerning for me. And so because I have a lot of chemistry and sciences in my background, I said, you know what, Tiaa, let's kind of turn back to some things that you know very certain. I know science. And so I started creating formulas that included plants. So plant butters, plant oils, plant waters, the essence of a plant, I've included in my product line. And so that's where we are today. Launch in several different directions, just rounding out the experience of natural products and creating spaces for your entire family. So you'll have more products coming from TeTe's. You can find us on the shelf in several locations in South Carolina, as well as New Jersey.
Awesome. So, especially for women of color, for Black women, why are natural products important? I mean, you spoke about changing your diet. What does that mean?
So what it means is that we've got to be conscientious about the things we're eating, the products that the chemicals that go into making some of our favorites, our cookies, our crackers. I'm preaching to myself because I still love cookies and crackers. I'm just more mindful and becoming even more mindful as to how many I eat and when I eat them. But we've got to be conscientious of those things because our hair requires so much, regardless of the state, regardless if you are a relaxed hair wearer, if you're wearing natural hair, if you have locks, braids, if you like your wigs, your weaves, it doesn't matter. We've got to be conscientious of what we're putting on our hair and on our scalp, because our scalp is absorbing those materials. It's going straight to our bloodstreams and it's impacting us in ways that we don't want to know. We kind of close our ears or go la 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 because we don't want to know that our favorite product may absolutely be impacting our bloodstream, which is causing all kinds of havoc internally. So it's important. It was important for me to become aware and, try to really soften the message as I talk to people, because everyone's not ready. We're all going to come to this consciousness at our own time. I have to understand that, as passionate as I am about it, I have to be mindful that everyone's not ready to be in this space of knowing all the things that are wrong with the world, including what's wrong with our favorite products. So it starts with picking up the packages of our favorite foods, of our products, and reading them. If you can't pronounce them, if it takes you 15 times to look back to make sure you got your A's, O's, and LY's in the right place as you're Googling, what is this? Then you may need to start making some changes.
Right. If you have to Google it, maybe you shouldn't use it. Awesome. Thanks, Tiaa. Portia, missed you, boo. So most of you guys have seen Portia on our platform over and over again. She is estate planning attorney with Wood Legal Group. She is the founder of Black Trust Fund Kids. We also co-founded Future of Generational Wealth for Women of Color by Women of Color. I mean, she's a powerhouse. So Portia, introduce yourself to the people like they don't know who you are already.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction, Michelle. It's always such a pleasure to be here with you and amazing women. Oh my God, just listening to you guys talk, I am in awe of the work that you all do. So thank you so much. I'm Portia Wood. I am a generational wealth planning attorney. One of my focuses is really educating and activating African-American families about how to protect everything that we're building. We are in a state of emergency. And I know anybody who has heard me or Michelle talk anywhere, online or anywhere else, it's a state of emergency. There was a study that was done in 2017 that said the median net worth for Black families was set to hit zero by 2053. That timeline has been severely accelerated because COVID. In 2020 alone, 1 in 555 African Americans died as a result of COVID-19. And the CDC recently released a report, in the fall of last year that said more than 140,000 children were orphaned between April of 2020 and June of 2021 as a result of COVID-19. In fact, 1 in 4 of the deaths from COVID-19 resulted in an orphaned person. 65% of those kids are in minority communities. We cannot afford to not do estate planning. It is no longer, and I'm with you, Tiaa, because I was like, how do I come to this conversation softly? How do we make sure that, we can bring people in and get them ready and get them started? Now I'm like, nope, right now, because 70% of Americans have zero estate planning at all. $2 billion is lost annually in a probate process that is 100% avoidable. We are literally giving away everything that we have worked our blood, sweat, and tears for just by not playing the game appropriately. So, you know, Michelle, I love always being on here with you so we can talk about this, because the farther we can send this message, the better. And we got to stop cheaping out on it. We've got to stop saying, oh, I'm just going to do a will. For most people, a will is insufficient. And what people don't realize is that a will still has to go to probate court. So you have a will that didn't avoid court. Court is avoidable. So make sure you have the right estate plan for your family. And that's what we do. We go around, we do a lot of education. We talk to businesses and organizations and podcasts and things of this nature to really spread that message and help people understand why it is so important and what the perils they're facing are in actuality. So thank you for having me, and that's who we are.
Yay! Thank you, Portia. Again, everyone, we are here today because it is Happy Black History Month. We celebrate Black History 365, but for those that don't, welcome, right? We are here today featuring four and five fabulous Black women entrepreneurs who have started businesses. So today, moving forward, they're going to drop some of, they've already kind of told you their why. So now we're going to talk a little bit about their challenges, their successes, and then we'll talk a little bit about some tips, right? So if you have questions, drop them in the comment. Also, share this message, right? Help spread the love, help feature these amazing Black women and their businesses, right? That's what this is all about. It's giving a platform and lifting up Black voices. So we're excited to be here today. Awesome. Okay, we're just gonna like popcorn style. So first, what has been your biggest challenge in business as a woman of color, as a Black woman? What has been your biggest challenge in starting a business? Anyone?
I'm top in first, right? So one of the biggest challenges I face is that I'm in a white male dominated industry. And so people tend to think that, you know, you're too young to know anything about estate planning, or you're Black and you don't know anything about estate planning. And so I constantly have to tout the million degrees that I've had to go get to get a fuller understanding of this area. And so really having to be twice as good to get half as much credit. At least that was the biggest challenge in the beginning.
Love, 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 love.
Everyone and their mother and cousin and sister and them sells candles. Okay. And it is such an oversaturated market. So I think my biggest challenges were just trying to find my niche and find out what works best for me. Like, how can I continue to show up and stand out? And that's why I always kind of tell a story, and I make sure that people understand that when you buy a candle from She Candle Co., you're not just buying a candle to make your house smell good because you ever have a cookout or a bar mitzvah or whatever. This is something that you are supposed to savor and enjoy and look forward to each time you burn it or each time you use one of my products. So it would definitely be just making sure that I don't kind of blend into that group of Black women who own candle companies, but, you know, separate myself and say, hey, yeah, I'm still riding with them, but I'm so much different.
Yay! I love that. And another thing, you guys know, like marketing, business, that's my jam. And so one of the things that Ambrie has been able to do really, really well is create a brand, right? And so when she talks about finding a niche for herself, it's not the barbecue candle, right? It's the I'm about to get my groove on. I'm about to Netflix and chill. Chill candle, right? You see the instance in the background, you see the red lips. I mean, she is not here to play, darling. You know what I mean? So building a brand is huge. So for anyone that's listening, you're starting a business and you're trying to figure out how do I set myself apart in the noise? Building a brand that is niche specific is super important. Yeah, awesome.
I agree. I believe that because there are so many butter companies or candle companies or you name it. These are the things that appeal to us, things that we're gravitating towards. Separating yourself in that marketplace, creating your brand identification is very important. And so for me, one of the challenges is just to continue to stay focused and understand what my purpose is in this marketplace, regardless to however many other companies may look like mine. TeTe's is separate. TeTe's is its own thing in brand, its own philosophy. There are reasons why. And now, too, one of the things I was just explaining is converting long-term Vaseline users to TeTe butter users. That's a challenge. Okay. Vaseline down. So just converting people, from come on away from the Vaseline, and let me tell you why. I don't want to say it too loud because everyone's going to say, well, my grandmama, yeah, and this is before she knew better. So we're going to leave Vaseline alone and hear your reasons why. And come on over to TeTe's. I got something to help replace what you think Vaseline is doing for you.
All right, love that. And guys, if you missed it, she said, have a story, right? Have a story with your business. And it can't be easy to compete against household names, right? Like a Vaseline or a Johnson and Johnson. But no, those things aren't good for us, right? And so her story and her mission is what sets her apart from other people. I think that that's amazing. Dianne, what about you?
I mean, I think story is a perfect segue because that is my challenge and has been my challenge is that, it's shaped around my story. And I'm a very, very private person. So to have to be so transparent and to be so vulnerable because the mission is more important, that's been the difficulty where it's like now these people going to be all in my business and all my stuff. But the liberation and restoration of the people that will be touched by my story is why I do it anyway, but it's not easy to be that vulnerable and transparent.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you are touching my entire spirit. And I'm sure everyone can say the same thing. Guys, I mean, a true story, especially when it comes to marketing, is one where you have to be vulnerable, right? And it's not easy to put yourself out there. But think about the people that are most successful in the world. They are really transparent. I mean,
I love that she said the mission is is more important. Like that's I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna quote you.
Yes, I love that. And everyone quote that and make sure you tag Dianne, right? The mission is more important. Like you often hear people say, I'm afraid, I'm scared to start my business. And you also hear people come back, well, you're doing a disservice. You're being selfish if you're keeping that good stuff to yourself. God has given you a gift or a blessing. And now to be a good steward of that gift, you have to share it with the world.
That's right. Don't bury your talent.
Awesome. Okay, so now we've talked about challenges. People love that. They actually love to hear our challenges. That's why we started there first. But let's talk about some successes. What are what's been a big win, a little win, a client you've helped, a milestone you've overcome? What's been a success for you in your business? Let's go, Dianne. Dianne, you're here first. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ambrie. Go ahead.
No, let Dianne, you go.
Okay, I'll go. I mean, it's still getting off the ground, but I would say for me, it's just like getting this memoir done and just seeing it take arms and legs. So now it's like, I just hear God saying, create these journals and let these journals do this. I want you to go and do speaking events. I want you to, be able to support Fall Forum or foster youth in this way. So just like being able to know that this is just the catalyst for all these different things that are, set to, transform after is the success that's up and coming.
Yay. So for anyone who missed it, she has a book that is coming out. It is a memoir. So, she's talking about being transparent. She's talking about her story. She's talking about the foster care system and how to prepare children and parents in that environment. I mean, it's work that definitely needs to be done, Dianne. It's amazing.
Good work.
Ambrie, what were you saying, darling?
So it's so funny because I got a text message, and so I love being able to I'm like that unfiltered best friend at homegirl. So my customers feel like they're very comfortable with me. So I think I said I was like eliminating my signature line, and they were beating me up in my DMs because they were like, I don't know who you thought you were talking to, but you weren't talking to us. And so I got a text message yesterday from a customer, and she was like, I was in the grocery store, and the girl was picking out candles, and I directed her to your website. And so being able to have like my feet planted, and then people are just finding me and sharing my products by word of mouth and directing them to me, that is like one of my Like that's like the best thing that happened to me in my business, is that it moves organically. I really pour my heart and soul into making my products. I don't burn anything in here that I would not, I don't sell anything I would not burn in my homes. I'm really selfish when I source scents and vessels and all of that. So that for me is major. And then because of, again, word of mouth, just I'm getting like interviews and emails sent to me for people to reach out about wholesale inquiries and because they can't get anything online. It doesn't stay online long enough. But
Yes.
that makes me happy.
Yeah, where Portia saw her mouth, she said, "That's a good problem to have."
That's definitely a good
Awesome.
problem to have.
Yay. So, I mean, a couple things you said there, right? You said organic. I mean, that is a success in itself. With so many of us throwing money at advertising and Facebook and Google and everyone else, I mean, to truly grow a business and a brand organically, it's where it's at. I mean, and I'll just give a little story myself. I've built my business organically, right? My background is marketing and all that good stuff. Well, last year, of course, there was so much noise. There was COVID. I was like, let me just throw all this money at advertising. Do you know that I did not make $1 more than the year before? My business is doing well, but with all the money I spent, it should have 10x, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
didn't. So guess what? This year, back to the basics: showing up, showing people you care, being heart focused, organic. Love that, Ambrie.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Awesome.
One of my wins I'd love to share is I'm sitting in it. It's my maker space.
I was
I
hoping you were going to talk about it.
let me say this. I didn't run. I walked very fast and watched where I was stepping through the yard to get over here. And now I'm positioning the computer so I get the best Wi-Fi, right? So I was able to, during the pandemic, build a maker space. And it's just been amazing to have a space outside of my home, which I'm a recent purchaser. Thankfully, Michelle Morton is my real estate agent for all things. And so I was able to build this space because of a major win I had in 2000. And that was being included in the BET Plus box giveaway. And so that was really exciting for the brand. To get 500 beard kits out to 500 new customers across the country was a major win, which helped me to build a space to just make products. And that's what I do here. It's part play, part maker. And that's where I'm sitting right now. So that's a major win.
Yeah, TeTe, you have to drop some like photos in the Facebook group.
I'll do that.
Yeah, so and she's being shy, but TeTe from the ground up, it's not a she shed, right? Most people maybe just put a shed in the yard. Maybe no, this has had like foundation poured, studs built. There's water, running water. There's a kitchenette in this space. It is amazing.
Thank you.
Congrats to you. Awesome. Portia, what's been one of your biggest wins? Ooh, I know a couple, but I'm gonna let you talk, sis.
Oh, okay. Well, honestly, I would some of my biggest wins have been being able to protect my clients, right? When people come back to me when somebody has gotten ill or has passed away, which is really generally a pretty hard time in life, for them to say thank you so much because the plan that you made it so much easier. That's a win for me. That's why I get up every day, when I know that I've been able to change the trajectory for a family, and not just for that family, but for generations of that family. And so it reminds me why I do what I do every day. So that's a big win. And I had a couple of those just a few days ago. So that was fun.
Yeah.
You can have another one because I need to build some. I need to set up some estate planning. So.
Well, yes, yeah. All of you on this channel need to set up some estate planning. You guys,
absolutely. I've got lots of questions. Lots of questions.
Planning, a lot of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. We've been doing these educational webinars that have been growing in size, which has been great. So people are getting the information and getting started, because the information gap is really one of the biggest problems. People just don't know what they don't know, and they don't know the perils that are right in front of them, right? The dangers that are directly in front of their face. They don't know what they are, so they just ignore them. And so getting the information out so that people can understand, so that they can appropriately protect themselves against that, has been great. So
Yay! So I have
and
another
then
one for
selling my
Portia.
realtor,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Yes,
buying
yes,
another
yes.
house,
Yes, yes, yes.
and then building out a second house on that property. It's been a good fun journey. So
Yay. And you were
Congratulations.
just featured on a very popular news program. Tell us a little bit about that.
yes, that also happened. I was on the Tiffany Cross show on MSNBC talking about the importance of estate planning in the Black community and Black wealth. I also was on Good Morning America a couple days later, a few days after that, and a few other national spots. I've got a column that's running in the Afro for about 5 weeks right now, the Afro American newspaper, which, for those of you who don't know, is the oldest and longest running continuously running family-owned Black newspaper in the country. So if you are not supporting them, support them. We need the Black press. But I'm running a column there as well about estate planning. And so I've just submitted the second one of a 5-part series. So check it out. But yeah.
Go girl.
Yay! Congrats, Portia. Yeah, and guys, why is that important? Because we're talking about organic, right? We all have a mission. Dianne, Ambrie, Tiaa, Portia, myself, and our mission is important. And so organic, get with a PR company, right? Get someone, that would be my nugget or my tip for everyone who's watching, and take away from what Portia said. It's important for you to have a business, yes, but it's important for everyone to hear your message, to hear your story, to hear your mission. Because if you're just sitting here screaming to yourself, it doesn't matter, right? So kudos, 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 Portia. All right, guys. So we're gonna do something else. How about the next question is, if there was one thing that you would tell yourself when you first started your business, what would that be? Tiaa, we'll start with Tiaa. She's thinking. She's like,
So I would tell, if I can go back years ago, and tell myself, I would say, don't allow yourself to be boxed into one thing. You're so talented, and get very, very comfortable exploring all facets of your talents. And I say that because for so long, we can be told, oh, you're good at this, right? And not willing to explore those other areas that we can be good at, because we don't want to seem as though we're all over the place. That's all over the place. But not being boxed into one specific area, and just exploring all of those talents, and just hold on to that. And I'll say that, I've had multiple businesses. I do a lot of things, and I'm very good at a lot of things. And so just not being afraid to explore all of those talents, because God didn't give them to me to bury them.
yes, I love that, guys. It's okay to have many things, right? You don't have to, that's the new thing, right? Focus on the one thing. Yeah,
Right.
you do want to be focused so you can see something through, but there's nothing wrong with exploring all your gifts, all your talents, and using them to make the world a better place. So love that. Awesome. Who's next? What's the one thing you would tell yourself if you were just starting out now?
I would say get rid of the head trash. Society has taught us
Mm.
so much. It tells us as Black women, it tells us as women, it tells us as people, what we can and cannot do, or at least it tries to tell us what we can and cannot do. And we grow up with all this messaging inside of our head. Oh, well, I can't be successful if I don't look like this, or if I don't do that. As an attorney, there's such a small percentage of attorneys generally that are African American, let alone in my field, let alone that do comprehensive planning and wealth planning like I do. And so when I come out and I've got on a t-shirt or a dress, people are like, you don't look like an attorney. When I've got my, my hair in locks, and people are like, you don't look like an attorney. And for a long time, I felt like I had to look the part for people to respect it, right? And it wasn't until I really started just allowing myself to be myself and speak my truth and live in that. I would tell myself, do it earlier. Stop trying to play into other people's narratives of what they think you should be, and just be who you are. And I say that to everybody listening, just be you, because you are unique and you are what the world needs, not a carbon copy of somebody else's version of what it should look like. They need you.
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
Yay! The world needs you. Be you. Now, live in your own truth, right? Get with it or don't. Awesome. Who's next? Dianne, Ambrie, what would you tell yourself if you were just starting out?
I would say take the help, sis. Like, take it.
Ooh.
I always wanted to, I don't know what it was about wanting to do everything by myself. Like, no, I got it. No, I got it. No, I got it. And then things would happen. And then I'm overwhelmed. And then things slip between the cracks. And take the help. Let somebody come over here and help you put these candles in this box. Let somebody come over here and help you mix up these fragrances. Let someone come over here and help you watch these kids. Take the help so that you are not stretching yourself too thin. So I have help now, but then I was like, oh no, I'm doing this all by myself. I'm going to be awesome at it. And I was like, girl, no.
And that goes to being a woman, period, right? As women, we are taught that we have to do all things, right? You have to cook, you have to clean, you have to work, you have to breastfeed, you have to, pop out a baby through places that is crazy, right? You have to do all these things in order to be considered whole. Guess what? You don't have to do any of them, right? And you're still amazing, right?
Yes.
And you can get help. Someone cleans my house.
Listen.
Right? I'm trying to get somebody to cook my food and feed my husband. There is nothing wrong with these things. I have people on my team. My business would not run as efficiently as it does without, shout out to Jamila Jennings. Most of you know who she is. Without her, we wouldn't be here. So guys, there is nothing wrong. She said, take the help, sis. We have a couple. Charles, thank you, Charles. Black Girls Rock. Shout out to the next Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah.
We just had a nomination, first Black woman. We're excited about that. And Charles also said, OMG, such beautiful queens. Thank you, Charles. We appreciate you. Awesome. Dianne, I know this is like almost a new venture for you, but tell us, what are you telling yourself right now?
I mean, I think initially the biggest thing was do it afraid. Because, as it started off with me telling my story, I knew like some of my relationships I restored. And so I'm like, but it wasn't always nice. And so I like held back for years. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say it, even though I knew that this was what I was supposed to do since I was like 12 years old. But I'm like, I don't want, to damage this relationship that has some sort of peace right now. I don't want this person to feel some type of way about it. And then as my business started to take branches, then it's like, I'm afraid to invest, because what if I invest all of this money and then there's no return, So just doing it afraid.
We had some tech glitches.
He's about to get in.
Do it afraid.
Yeah,
100%.
You have to do it afraid. You have to do it afraid.
So until she comes back, let's talk about it. What's one time that everyone had to do it afraid, like in your business, in life? Tell us about it.
So I remember when I started making products and testing on myself and my nephews, right? I was a little nervous about testing on my nephews because, you don't want to mess that up. You don't want to scar the children. I didn't want to have problems with my sister-in-law. But I was like, Tiaa, she was like, Tiaa, I trust you. You're not gonna put anything on them that you wouldn't use. So I trust you. Give it here. Give it to me. And I was just, they come visit, I'd slather them and I'd be like, hey, Stace, use this. And just getting like we've all said, get out of our head, do it afraid, trust yourself. You've done your research. You've perfected whatever it is you're getting ready to launch. Just do it. Close your eyes and just step off the ledge.
Love it. Dianne, we were actually just starting a roundtable based on where you left off, talking about do it afraid. Did you want to finish? We were receiving the word, sis.
Please finish the word.
I mean, I think
finish.
Oh, Erica, but I think that yeah, like that's it. You know, it was like I just think about all the years that I wasted because I was afraid, because I was, you know, because fear, you know, takes roots and it'll have you think in the worst case scenario in every aspect of your life. Or I was solely dependent on my career that I chose through college ventures, which is to be an educator, and thinking that like, okay, well, this is what I'm set to do, and not realizing that it's like, but wait a minute, you know, I had to go back and think about being a child and all these different aspirations and all these different dreams and goals I had. And I'm like, why do they die? And, you know, Langston Hughes wrote a poem about it, talking about like, you know, what happens to dreams? You know, do they fester? Do they spoil like meat? And it was like, I don't want to die and not be able to say like I was able to do everything with, you know, what God has given me. So it was like, nope, I just got to do it right now. Forget all the other things that I put in my mind that could possibly go wrong. Because I know, you know, what this could do if it goes right.
And it's going to be so beautiful. And you know, we always talk about collaboration. You have at least four of us here that are definitely, as you continue to grow and build, we all have platforms, and you know, just reach out to everyone here to and anyone that's in the audience. If you're watching, you hear Diane's mission. She has already moving so many people. So, you know, reach out to her. If you have a platform where you can help amplify her voice or any of the voices of the ladies that are here on the stage, please reach out to them directly. They're tagged all over our platform. Oh, Diane, you have people crying in the
Um,
audience. I have another
Oh
one,
my
another
gosh.
Facebook user. So this is amazing. So we're talking about doing it afraid. So I'll talk a little bit about just one thing that I had to do it afraid. And I was starting this business, right? So most of you know I have a bunch of little people. I have a 6, 4, and 2-year old, right? And I had a pretty good career, making pretty good money. Dwight and I, we were married. We started having kids. We live in the DMV, and childcare is no joke, right? And so after baby number one, we were still doing our career. We had our businesses, but they were just, you know, they were making us extra money on the side. After baby number two, we were like, you know what? We're paying 2 house payments for childcare. Why don't we sat down and we talked about it, and we were like, what are we going to do? All right, let's do it. We are a self-employed household raising 3 kids, and what is it? You eat what you kill. That is a scary position to be in. But here we sit, and our business is we are making more money than we would have with very great careers. And if we had not taken that leap and had 2 very tough years, one extremely tough year, that first year, we would not be here today. So to Diane's point, do it afraid. Go for it. Do it. Awesome. What about anyone else? Do it afraid. What's the time that you had to do it afraid
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you
I
came
could
out?
jump in on that, right? I've talked a little bit about the numbers in my introduction, right? 70% of African Americans don't have any estate planning. And I kept wanting the message to be focused on that. And people kept telling me, no, you need to be more general, right? You need to tone down the message. You need to be more general. Everybody needs estate planning. And I'm like, yeah, but my community needs it right now. Like there's a knowledge gap here that's not coming in. And so I don't want to tone down the message. But it was scary because it's like, are you going to alienate people? Is anybody going to even listen to you? Are people just going to be like, we don't care? But I did it anyway. And I left my corporate law firm job and I was like, if I can't say the things that I think are important and talk about them because you're worried about the brand, then I just have to make my own. And I have to have the space to do that. So that was scary, especially with a 3-month-old at home and to go out and start a law firm, leave that cushy job. But I mean, it's paid off, and we're here years and years later with hundreds and hundreds of families that we've been able to protect, and closing the racial wealth gap one family at a time. So
Yeah.
do it afraid. Do it
That's
afraid.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Yay. And Portia, we appreciate and support everything that you do, because had you not done it afraid, right? Had you not made that leap and really niche down to help the Black community. I mean, how many of us, truth be told, are afraid to put that in our messaging, right? Are afraid to say, I'm only talking to Black people. Are afraid to say, this event's only for Black women, because we're afraid of the backlash, right? We're afraid of the people who are not allies, all the comments, all the trolls. We're afraid of that. Kudos, Portia, for standing up against
and I
that.
will say, don't read the comments, because after the Tiffany Cross show, I was going through the comments and they were like, oh, all this race baiting, all this, that estate planning is important for everybody, sound financial advice. And I started responding to all the comments. I'm like, yes, but there's not a state of emergency for wealth in the white community. So, that's not a news segment. That's not news. And then I was like, I can't do this. I'll sit here all day responding to these comments. Don't read the comments.
Get out the comments.
Don't read the comments.
Don't read the comments. Biggest tip of the business tip of the day. Don't read the comments. Because as you blow up, and we say that today, you will blow up, right? Your business is going to grow. You have us here to help support you. Post on our platforms. We have Facebook groups. Some of us have big clubhouse clubs. Some of us have great IG followings. We are here to support you. That's what we're here for. We believe in that. Hashtag squad. So we have people. Dianne is bringing me to tears. Facebook user, forget them, just do you. Jessica Wright, a wealth of information. So proud of you, Bree. Awesome. So we have our supporters here. All right, guys. So I'm not going to keep everyone here all day because I appreciate my panel. We're all very busy business owners. Let's see. We have another Facebook user. Oh, hey, Matt. I guess StreamYard needs my permission. Matt's he's in that. You guys have seen this on our platform before. He's He's also a Black man with a business. Credit is his thing. So we continue to support businesses. We are not anti everyone else, but we are definitely pro Black, blackity black on this platform.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies. Again, I appreciate you all for being here today. We will be back. These ladies are a part of our family, so they will all be back. Dianne's been on here before. Portia's been on here before. Tiaa was coming before, and we had I think she had something to do. Ambrie, they will all be back again. Today, as we close out, ladies, just again, tell everyone a little bit more about your business. Drop them one thing. If there's one thing that you can share with the world, whether it's about just a tip for business, whether it's about being a Black woman in today's society, or a woman of color, whatever it is, where would you share with the people before you leave, and tell them where to find you? Where do you want them to find you online, or how do they find your business?
I would say, this is Ambrie of She Candle Co. Keep going no matter what. Be very unapologetic about the journey that you're on. Everybody is not going to be able to come with you the entire time, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. Everyone is not going to understand your path. It's your path. So be very loud and proud about what you're doing for your business and what works best for you. And yeah.
Yay, love that. Keep going and be unapologetic. Period. With a T.
So I'm Tiaa of TeTe's Butter Co. Thank you all for having me. Plants do it best. You can find us on Instagram at TeTesButterco. That's TeTe's Butter Co. You can also find us at www.TeTesButterco. Join us on this journey of rediscovering all of our daily necessities with a natural, needed twist of plants.
Plants do it best, y'all. And take care of yourself. Take care of your body. It is your temple. So if you want to be here for your children, your grandchildren, your friends, yourself, take care of your body. Awesome. And TeTe's Butter Co. is her IG. Follow her on IG. Dianne, what do you want to leave the people with, and how do they find you online, sis? How do they support this mission?
You can find me at www.diannerjackson.com. You can order the book that I co-authored last year, or order my memoir that's set to drop in about a month. And contact me for speaking engagements or anything of that on that platform. And if there's something that I would leave with you guys, I don't know. I guess it's just to remember your why. So I think that for me, I was in education. I thought that that was everything. I'm here to pass on all this information to the next generation. But then it as I started to go into that career and just recognize different issues and then still deal with myself and build myself up, it's wait a minute, there's a why here, and I'm not fully actualizing on that. And so remembering that helped me to begin to explore other things outside of my chosen career.
Yay. Do it. Just do it, guys. Do it scared. Portia, what about you, my friend?
Whew, everybody said so many things. I would say just remember there's no day but today, right? I'll quote Rent. There's no day but today. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. And, procrastination is really the arrogance of ourselves to say that God owes us another day to do what he gave us the breath to do today. So let's not do that, right? Let's not keep procrastinating. As we build these businesses, as we create our families, as we continue to grow through life and the privilege that we get of each day, make sure you're protecting it. Don't build your business and your family and financial house on quicksand, where one illness, one injury erodes everything that you've worked for, because that's where most people in our community are sitting. They are one illness, one accident, one something away from everything they've created going away. So, whether that's the court process or whatnot, and it does snowball. So take the time, take the action right now while you are able to protect it. And the foundation is really your estate plan. I would say, where can you find me? Woodlegalgroup.com is our website. We have 2 webinars coming up, one specifically for people with minor children. So if you have kids under the age of 18, your estate planning considerations are very different. That is March 16th. And then a generational wealth webinar is on March 17th. They're both available on our website. You can always catch us on Clubhouse or TikTok at the Black Trust Fund Kids. We're often doing something fun in there. And then, of course, the Future of Generational Wealth event, which is coming up soon. And I know Michelle's going to talk about it, by women of color, for women of color. And we're going to be talking a lot about how do we build, protect, and grow generational wealth inside of our community and inside of our families. So hopefully you will tap in with all of those things.
Yay! And the one thing that I would leave our group with is hashtag squad, right? The one thing that I can say that has helped make my business as successful as it is really collaboration, right? Partnering with people who are amazing, partnering people with who have a shared mission, partnering with people who you can truly grow and build long lasting positive relationships with. You know, again, I do agree with Ambrie, not everyone can go, right? But I do believe in trying to take as many people as you can with you, right? Trying to build lasting relationships and lasting friendships, because what is it? We grow together, along that whole thing. Alone, we can't go anywhere. Together, I don't know the beautiful version right now,
A
but
rising tide
You want
raises
to go
all
fast?
all that.
Yeah. If you want to go fast,
When you
go
want to
alone.
go
If
fast,
you
go low.
want
If
to
you want to
go
go long,
hard,
go together.
See,
Each one
hashtag
teach one.
squad.
Also, each one teach one. Michelle, that's what we've always been taught. That's what our community has always done. We've always taken the information and the knowledge that we've gotten and turned around and shared that information, particularly Black women in our community. We have been the people who have kept moving this forward throughout centuries, right? One of us learns to read, and now a whole community knows how to read. One of us learns math, and now a whole community of kids learn math. And so, sewing, planting, you look back on any of these skill sets, and we've typically been on the forefront to educate the community and push them forward. So what you're doing, Michelle, in building these squads and talking to people about build your squad is really a continuation of what the ancestors have done. They are speaking through you and continuing to push. Thank you for what you're doing and continuing to find mission aligned people and bringing them together, because it's really impactful.
Yay!
Yay. Yes.
Love you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks to my squad for hanging out with me today. You all will never know how much these moments mean to me, especially with everything that's happening in the world lately and how we've been separated from each other through COVID and war and all the things happening. So these moments are amazing. This is what life is really all about. So thank you guys again. Awesome, guys. Look us up online if you want to find us. Wood Legal Group, TT's Butter Co., She Candle Co., Forever Families. Definitely hit up Dianne so she can speak at some of your on your own platform. If you want to find us, I'll just give you one of the spaces. Luxuryandlegacy.com/community. If you're on Facebook, that's our group, or luxuryandlegacy.com/watch if you're on YouTube. That's two, but you know what I mean. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.